शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 2 मंत्र 23। नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यः न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन यमेवैष वृणुते तेन लभ्यः तस्यैष आत्मा विवृणुते तनूगुं स्वाम्। In this verse, Yama is talking about the Atmajnana sadhanam, the means to attain Atmajnana. And while talking about the means to attain Atmajnana, the Upanishad also says what cannot give Atmajnana. Most often we might take to wrong means, the means that does not really lead to Atmajnana. It is like taking wrong medicine, thinking that it will heal my disease. For years together, sometimes people take wrong medicine. In fact, the medicine is not a remedy for the particular disease at all. But without knowing that, sometimes without even consulting a doctor, people take wrong medicine. And sometimes even after consulting a doctor, the doctor has not diagnosed the problem correctly. Even then, people take wrong medicine. The same thing can happen with the moksha also. One might think a particular sadhana alone will lead to Atma Jnana and keep pursuing it for ages without getting any better light in the pursuit. It is not as uncommon as we think. It is very common. Therefore, the Shruti clarifies what is not sadhana, what cannot give Atma Jnana, what cannot lead to Atma, Brahman, moksha. Atma means moksha, because moksha is nothing but Atma Swarupa. Therefore, Shruti says, Atma labhyaha. Atma has to be attained. What has to be attained is Atma. But our goal is not Atma. What do we want? We want moksha. What we need is moksha. But to get moksha, we have to get Atma. Because moksha is Atma Swarupa. Therefore, moksha is Atma. Therefore, getting moksha is nothing but getting Atma. Moksha prapti is Atma prapti. That is why Shruti does not say moksha prapti. Shruti talks about Atma prapti, keeping in mind that moksha is nothing but Atma Swarupa. Ayam Atma, this Atma, this Atma means Atma is not away. If Atma is far away, the Shruti cannot use the pronoun this. Shruti could have used the pronoun that, tad, saha Atma. By using ayam Atma, the Shruti also indicates that there is no real distance between you and Atma. The distance is only ajnana. There is no other distance than the distance caused by ajnana. Avidyakrita vyavadhana. There is no deshakrita vyavadhana. There is no gap caused by space. No spatial distance between you and Atma. There is no distance in time between you and Atma. It is now and here. Then what causes the distance? Only avidya. Avidyakrita vyavadhana. Between you and Atma, between you and moksha, there is only avidyakrita vyavadhana. Therefore, ayam Atma, this Atma, the Atma is the goal, and it is not away. Pravachanena na labhyaha. The Atma cannot be attained by means of pravachana. Bhashyakara says, pravachana means learning many Vedas, aneka Veda swikaranam. By learning many Vedas, one cannot get Atmajnana. Someone who has learnt many Veda, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, and he has become a Vedic scholar. He can chant all Vedas with various pathas. We have Krama Patha, Pada Patha, Krama Patha, Jata Patha, Ghana Patha. Up to Ghana Patha one can learn. Does it mean he can know Atma through learning the Veda, Vedic chanting? Shruti says no. Learning many Vedas does not lead to Atmajnana. The Shruti does not mean to say that learning the Veda is not at all useless. It is not the meaning. Because learning the Veda itself is given as a means for Chitta Shuddhi. Learning the Veda and chanting the Veda. Tametam Vedānuvachanena Brahmana Vividishanti. Brihadaranyaka says. And in Bhagavad Gita also, Swadhyaya is given as a Vachika tapas. Chanting the Veda is mentioned as a Vachika tapas. It will give Chitta Shuddhi. It will contribute to Chitta Shuddhi. But it is not adequate to get Atma. Just by learning many Vedas, one cannot get Atma. Then, na medhaya, ayam Atma medhaya na labhyaha. Ayam Atma pravachanena na labhyaha. Another sentence is, ayam Atma medhaya na labhyaha. The Atma cannot be attained only by means of medha. Medha means intellectual ability, intellectual quotient, IQ. A person has high IQ. Does it mean that he can become Brahmajnani easily? Having high IQ up to certain extent definitely helps in understanding the Shastra in the pursuit up to certain extent as a tool. But having high IQ itself does not mean one can become Brahmajnani. Most often, one may misuse one's intellectual quotient And if someone has too much of intellectual quotient and he is proud of it, then generally we find such people arrogant, not ready to accept the Guru and Shastra. It is also possible. Someone directly told me once, all this is for low IQ people. I am a high IQ person. A boy told me once, long back. Then I kept quiet. I am very intelligent, therefore I know what is right. I can make out what is, figure out with my own intelligence. He is not humble enough to accept, to open himself up for the Shastra. His doors are closed. His mind is not open for any new understanding. So, medhaya na labhyaha and bahuna shrutena na labhyaha. Ayam atma bahuna shrutena na labhyaha. This Atma cannot be attained by too much of Shrutam. Shrutam means learning. Learning many Shastra. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa. All systems of Indian philosophy. All literature, as well as Western philosophy. One can keep on learning many things, psychology, and so many spiritual literature is available in the library. If you go to the library, we have so many books. So, studying all various branches of knowledge, various disciplines of philosophies, various schools of philosophies, one can become a savant, a scholar. But that does not mean one gets Atma Jnana. Therefore, bahuna shrutena ayam atma na labhyaha. Therefore, do not make the mistake of thinking that someone who is a great scholar must be an Atma Jnani. It is not necessarily so. There are many academic scholars of Vedanta also, but they are clear about it. We are only academic scholars. They will clearly say, one of them was telling, Taireva jnatum shakyate, asmabhihi katham jnatum shakyate. So it is paroksha. It is just an academic understanding. They don't know what it really means in their life. So that is a scholarly knowledge of Vedanta. It does not really work. It does not really give the phala, the benefit of Atma Jnana. Therefore, bahuna shrutena na labhyaha. Then how to get Atma Jnana? One important sadhanam is mentioned in the Uttarardha of this mantra. Atma Varanam, choosing the Atma. Choosing the Atma is choosing the moksha as the only priority in life. And when we choose something, we need to say a no to other things also. Any choice involves ruling out other options. Without ruling out other options, we cannot make a choice. So, Atma Varanam. Varanam means choosing, like a Swayamvara. Vara is Varanam. Choosing. What happens in Swayamvara? So, the girl chooses who she has to marry. It is Varanam. And she can choose only one. And choosing one involves ruling out all others. That is why, perhaps, after every Swayamvara, there used to be a war. If you look at Raghuvamsham, there is the Swayamvara of Indumati. Indumati Swayamvara, where Indumati chooses Aja. Aja is Dasharatha's father, Rama's grandfather. And when Indumati chose Aja, they got married and they leave that palace, returning back to Ayodhya. At that time, all other kings and princes who were participating in the Swayamvara attack Aja and Indumati. And then there is a great description of war in Raghuvamsham, a beautiful description of the fight. So, after Swayamvara, there was a fight. So, anyway, that is an instance which I remembered. So, what I mean to say is, when we accept one, it means we rule out other options. That is Varanam, choosing. Likewise, when we choose moksha as our priority, we have to say no to so many other things. That is called Atma Varanam, choosing the Atma or choosing the moksha, which is nothing but mumukshutva. The mumukshutva has to be cultivated. Even mumukshutva needs to be cultivated consciously up to large extent, because there may be other desires. Our life will keep presenting other priorities. But then we have to be ready to say no to so many other things. Therefore, Atma Eka Varanam, choosing Atma alone as our priority. That is one of the important sadhana that is required for attaining Atma, for attaining moksha. And while talking about Atma Varanam, the Shruti makes a statement. Yameva esha vrunute tena labhyaha. Yam atmanam eva. Which Atma alone? Eva. Eva means all other things are ruled out. Ruling out all other things. Yam eva. Which Atma alone? Eshaha. Eshaha means the seeker, the mumukshu. Vrinute chooses. Tena labhyaha. Tena, by him. By the one who chooses only moksha. Labhyaha. The Atma is attained. In this statement, if you look closely at the statement, you find that the Shruti does not say, one who seeks gets it. The Shruti should have made a statement, one who seeks get it. Instead of saying that, the Shruti says, that which is sought gets it. The one that is sought gets it. What is the idea? The idea is seeker and sought are one. There is no difference between seeker and a sought. In any other pursuit, the seeker and sought are different. But when it comes to Vedanta, the seeker and sought are not different. You are what you are seeking. In fact, all that you are seeking is nothing but yourself. Because what you seek is completeness. What you seek is fullness. What you seek is limitlessness. Freedom from limitations. And that is nothing but your own self. Therefore, you stop being a seeker when you find yourself. The seeking culminates when the seeker understands that what he is seeking is not different from himself. Therefore, yameva esha vrinute, yam vrinute, tena labhyaha. The Shruti could have said, yaha enam vrinute. yaha enam vrinute tena labhyaha. The one who seeks, by him it is attained. Instead of saying, the Shruti says, yam vrinute, whom he seeks, he attains. Implying that the seeker and sought are one. Yamevaisha vrinute tena labhyaha. And then another part of the mantra. Tasya eshaha atma swam tanum vivrinute. Tasya, for him, eshaha atma, this atma, swam tanum, its own swarupa, its own nature, vivrinute, reveals. The atma reveals its own nature to that kind of a mumukshu. So this statement can be understood in many ways. The significance of this statement. One significance is that to attain Atmajnana, one should have the grace of Ishvara as well as Guru. Ishvara Kripa and Guru Kripa, they come when an individual chooses only the Atma. And the Ishvara and Guru, they are also not other than the Atma. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. So the same Atma, being present in the form of Ishvara and Guru, makes a mumukshu get Atmajnana. When an individual chooses Atma alone above all other priorities. See the Bhashya. Yadyapi durvijneyaha ayam atma tathapi upayena suvijneyaha eva ityaha. Yadyapi durvijneyaha ayam atma. Yadyapi, even though, ayam atma, this atma is durvijneyaha, is difficult to know, tathapi, in spite of that, upayena suvijneyaha, upayena, with the proper means, suvijneyaha, Atma can be easily understood. When proper means is employed, when you go through the right channel, it is easy. It can be easily accomplished. Ityaha, Shruti says so. Na yamatma pravachanena labhyaha ityadi. We will read. Na yamatma pravachanena aneka vedasvikaranena labhyaha jneyaha नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यः. अयम आत्मा प्रवचनेन is equal to aneka veda swikaranena. By accepting many Vedas, by learning many Vedas, he can become a Chaturvedi, he can become a Dvivedi, Dube, and sometimes he can become a Chaube also. So, Chaturveda, all 4 Vedas he learns. So that does not mean he gets Atmajnana. Of course, he become a respectable person by learning all the 4 Vedas. If someone has learnt 1 Veda, he deserves respect. If someone learns 2 Vedas, of course properly. Nowadays people learn things in a hurry, without proper pronunciation and so on. Not like that. Learning properly, systematically. If he has learnt 2 Vedas, then he deserves more respect. And in any ritual, Dvivedi gets more dakshina if he has learned 2 Vedas. And Trivedi gets even more dakshina. And a Chaturvedi is supposed to get even more dakshina. Means greater honor. So he is a respectable person. He has done a great work. It is a great accomplishment. But just because someone has done some accomplishment does not mean he has to be an Atmajnani. Atmajnana does not have anything to do with our worldly accomplishments. Someone has grown a beard and he appears in television does not mean he has to be Atmajnani. He may have a charismatic personality and he may be a very good orator, very good speaker. He takes his photographs on the bank of Ganga. Does not mean he has to be a Brahmajnani. So what makes him a Brahmajnani? He has to be Brahmajnana. We cannot make out who is a Jnani. We cannot easily make out. Therefore, pravachanena na labhyaha. Atma cannot be attained by learning many Vedas or by, in the modern context we can interpret it slightly differently also. Someone who does very good pravachana, very good talks, need not get Brahmajnana. He is a Kathakar, very popular Kathakaras are there. Not necessary that they are Brahmajnanis. And na medhaya, medhaya na labhyaha, we will read. Na pi medhaya grantharthadharana shaktya, na pi medhaya, medhaya api na labhyaha. Medha means Granthartha Dharana Shakti. Grantha Dharana Shakti and Artha Dharana Shakti. So, in our traditional way of learning, first we do Grantha Dharana. We memorize the whole text, whether it is Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi or Ashtadhyayi or any Veda or Kathopanishad, Bhagavad Gita, whatever. First the Grantha is learned. So memorization plays an important role in our traditional way of learning. Unlike the modern way of learning where memorization is discouraged. In the modern education, the thinking is that memorization means you don't think. But that is not the idea. Memorization is one part of it. Our traditional education considers all four aspects of our antahkarana. There is manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta. We have four components of antahkarana. And the traditional learning takes care of all four components of antahkarana. So, chittam, the memory faculty, is also developed by encouraging memorization of many shlokas, Amarakosha, Ashtadhyayi, Veda, Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama. All things are memorized. It is chittam. And then manas, the emotional faculty, it is also developed. The emotional faculty is also taken care of in terms of reducing one's ragadvesha, handling one's ragadvesha, etc. by means of various spiritual disciplines. Then the ahankara, identification faculty, also is taken care of. Nowadays, people have identity crisis. They don't know what they belong to. So one's identity is also taken care of. What I am, what I am supposed to do. One's cultural identity, spiritual identity, in the form of belonging to a particular gotra, particular varna ashrama, particular parentage. So one has to be grounded in one's identity properly. Nowadays people think they are born as a descendants of monkey because that is what science teaches. So monkey gotrotpannaha. So then I have the freedom to behave like a monkey because I am a descendant of a monkey. But the rishis, in our tradition, we mention our gotra. You are a descendant of the great rishi. Therefore, you should behave in a way that befits the descendant of a rishi. So, identity, Ahankara is also taken care of. And it involves humility, how to be humble, how to be polite, how to be respectful to others. Everything is included. And then the intellectual faculty, buddhi. So all four faculties are addressed. In our traditional way of learning. But the modern way of learning focuses only on one faculty, that is the intellectual faculty. The other three faculties are not really addressed. That is why people are not able to handle their emotions. You find so many cases of depression and many other psychological issues among the present day generation. And they have identity crisis. And there is no memory. Memory is also less. They cannot remember their own mobile number. For everything they rely on electronic gadgets. So, Granthagrahanam and Arthagrahanam. Receiving the Grantha, the text, means one should be able to retain the whole text in one's mind, the Vedas and so on. And Arthagrahanam, understanding the meaning of the text. This ability is called Medha. So even Medha is needed up to certain extent in the pursuit of Jnana, because to study the Shastra, one should have some amount of Medha. That is why we have Medha Suktam. But sometimes the problem is one cannot learn the Medha Suktam itself. Medha Suktam increases memory if it is chanted. But how to memorize Medha Suktam itself? It is a catch-22. So, Medhaya Granthartha Shaktya na labhyaha na bahuna shrutena kevalena na bahuna shrutena. By lot of shrutam, by lot of Shravana. And here Shravana means studying other Shastras. Shrutam or Shravanam in this context does not mean Vedanta Shravana, but study of many other things. Anandagiri says, Atma Pratipadakopaniषad Vichara Atirikta Shastra Shravanena na labhyaha. Shastra Shravana other than Atma Pratipadaka Upanishad Vichara, other than Vedanta, any other Shastra, like Nyaya Shastra. Many people who come to study Vedanta finally end up becoming Nayayikas. You can see this happening in many places, because once they get into Tarka Sangraha, they get some taste of Nyaya, and then they get encouraged, and finally they pursue Nyaya Shastra for many years. So that is why Pujya Swamiji was very careful. He would always discourage people from studying too much of Nyaya. So, and Upanishad vicharenapi kevalena siddhopadesha rahitena labhyate. Even Upanishad vichara, just by doing oneself, without the guidance of a proper teacher who is a Siddha, who has understood the Shastra properly, without that one cannot get. So that is why Bhashyakara adds kevalena shrutena, by just shrutam, just learning the Shastra as intellectual accomplishment. When Bhashyakara says kevalena, it excludes proper shravanam from a proper guru. Kena tarhi labhyah ityuchyate. Tarhi, then, if these are not the means for Atmajnana, then what will lead to Atmajnana? What will lead to moksha? Kena labhyaha, by what means? Kena, karane tritiya, labhyaha, Atma can be attained. Iti uchyate, it is being said. We will see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.